In 2012, I went into the Air Force, and I came out as a reservist for physical therapy assistant for the Air Force. I then actually a couple years after that, ended up starting to go through a divorce and a separation with my husband. We've been separated for about 2 years now. And in the process of doing that, I was a stay-at-home wife, so I needed something to get on my feet to try to give me a roadmap to figure out what exactly I was going to do. So I ended up coming across Goodwill. I wasn't sure how I did come across Goodwill at all. I don't remember. But when I did come in, I was able to get my resume taken care of. Operation Good Jobs actually helped me by helping with my resume, because I really had absolutely no clue how to put my resume together where it would obtain to that specific job. And then I ended up getting a couple interviews, and then we got clothes through Goodwill that way. I did use the clothing from there to do my interview. And I guess it helped with my personality, I guess being able to interview correctly, since there is a specific way that you need to interview in any circumstance, employer circumstance. Being a single mother, Operation Good Jobs has helped me with that. Because I have been able to get, there's gift cards for having employee or employer retention, as well as just being able to provide for my children. I do have a son on the way. So having 2 kids to yourself is a little bit of a scare, but at the same time, I think that I'm just able to figure everything out. And if I do have any questions, I could always call Katie. Well, Goodwill, as well as Operation Good Jobs, has assisted me in a lot of ways. It actually is like my backbone if I need anything extra. I needed something on the spot just to be able to take care of my daughter and myself. So I did start, there's the daycare that was right behind my house. I ended up being there for a short amount of time just because of the way that it was taken care of over there. And then I end up, right before I resigned, I literally had an interview that same day I resigned at A&D, and started A&D that following Monday. I ended up being a specimen collection tech, so I ended up actually collecting urine and DNA testing. In that process, I actually really loved that because I was closer to the medical field anyway. So I actually enjoyed doing that. And then I basically ended up finishing school. I was actually becoming a medical assistant. So it took me about a year, a little bit longer than it normally does, seeing as I was a single mother. But I ended up doing that, and right after I got my certification, I ended up getting an interview at Scott & White and been there ever since. So within the past 2 years of being with Operation Good Jobs, I've actually been able to obtain my certification in medical assisting that has me at McLean's Children's Specialty Clinic in Temple, Texas. It has been great. Actually, I've only started there since November, but I love being there. I love working with the children. I do give injections as well as a lot of vitals like blood pressure. Children are a lot more resilient than adults. They're a lot more forgiving after you give them a shot and you poke them. I intend to work there until retirement, possibly as far as being a nurse, even as a midwife. I do eventually in the future would like to go to nursing school and then midwifery school and become a midwife. So I have a lot of schooling ahead of me with 2 kids, as well as just Scott & White is a learning hospital anyway. So I'll be able to learn a lot of things in between that. And I work in pediatrics, so children are fun. The salary that I started off with when I first was with Operation Good Jobs was minimum wage at $7.25. Now I make a significant amount more, which is a whole lot better. I'm actually able to survive and not barely make it. It's a little bit more cushion
From day one, and as soon as I met Diamond, she was ready to go, tenacious, so incredibly hardworking, and really willing to do whatever it took to get the job done. She's always been wanting to do whatever it takes to help her and her family. She's always been on top of corresponding with me. She's always been on top of the job interviews, the resume prep, all the certifications, and just truly doing whatever it takes, you know, to help and better her and her family, and it's really shown off. Yes, I've helped her, but it's been all her, and I'm just very, very proud of her, and I really wish nothing but the best for her in the future.
In the next year, I will be having a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, so I would like to have a home for them to grow up in. That's my goal for the next year. The next 3 or so years to actually get into school and start doing what I want to do regarding my nursing. And then 5 years, about, let's see, maybe starting midwifery school, maybe, but I have to get a master's degree. So I give myself a total of like 10 years to get to the midwifery. Getting this award actually gave me a lot more confidence. It's great for someone to actually acknowledge all the hard work that I have done. Even when I know that I've been beating myself up a lot about having to go through all of it. So it actually is a blessing to actually be acknowledged with all the hard work that I have been doing. There are just many other things that Operation Good Jobs just is really literally a backbone to anything that I may need.